for the second session. Sir, you can start your class, sir.
Thank you, Kunal. So, dear students, welcome back. So, we were in the process of trying to understand more and more about SAP from the business perspective, and as well, when we took a lunch break, we were discussing about the architecture, how SAP constantly upgraded itself from one version of SAP to another version, right? So we saw R3, what is R3, what is R, and what is 3, what is R1, what is R2. Now, people would be interested to know what is HANA, just for the definition, how it is abbreviated. If you want me to just tell you what is HANA, it is high performance analytic appliance. This is as far as HANA stands. Now, what are the technical changes? So I said, now we are talking about HANA. Now, eventually, all the projects which happened earlier to HANA, that is, we are talking about HANA from 2015 onwards, right? So whatever, and SAP took birth in the year in the early 1970s. So from then to whatever has happened when SAP transformed itself from the ECC version. So I think now we are okay with what is ECC, Enterprise Central Component. So what we are looking at, 4.6b, 4.6c, 5.0, new general ledger, 6.0, whatever. So we are all talking about from the ECC environment. Now, when SAP started moving from the ECC version to the HANA version, there has to be some reasons, some business reasons associated with this transformation. So what actually happened in HANA? Now, simply said, it was a change in the database. Now, what do I mean by this? There are lots and lots more implications when SAP moved from ECC to HANA. As and when the relevant time comes, I will start putting in more and more details regarding HANA. Now, so for now, if somebody asks you, what is the difference between ECC and HANA? It is just the database. Simply put, it is the database change. Now, what was the database used in the ECC systems? Oracle was a database. It was a backend which was storing the data, whatever SAP, whatever people used to do on SAP. It used to get stored on the Oracle, in the Oracle backend, in the Oracle database. Now, eventually what happened? Because of this, SAP had to share its revenues also. And the percentage was around 60-40. So what chunk of the revenues was spent to pay Oracle was thought of to be used by SAP itself. So SAP wanted to use that percentage of the revenues also, quite a huge percentage, right? Now what happened? Eventually, it developed its own indigenous HANA database. So HANA is the database. This is the most simplest of the definitions. Implications are far too many. Okay, but if somebody asks you, what do you know about HANA? You can just tell this. There is a change in the database. From Oracle, SAP moved to its own database called HANA. Okay, HANA necessarily is a database. Now, SAP, so SAP has projects even on the ECC platform. Now they will have to cater to the HANA requirements because the designing of the database is totally different. So it has to move from the ECC platform to the HANA platform. So SAP has set a deadline. I think it must be late 2020, is it 2027 or 2013? Some date by which all the ECC implementations have to move to the HANA platform. Okay, so I have been associated with a couple of projects in the movement of this particular ECC to HANA transformation. So, and let me tell you, it is not as easy as things look like. A lot of things have to be taken into consideration even before the earlier SAP implementations have to have a changeover. Okay, so this is about your HANA. So we are still talking about ECC. Now, what is the other major change in HANA? What is the advantage? Now, when the ECC systems were developed, basically they were developed for the users to work on the desktop or maybe on the laptop, whatever. Now, why? Another significant movement was the Fiori app. You may also come across something called as Fiori. Nothing but one of your mobile apps, something like your whatever, your Instagram, your WhatsApp, whatever. What does this do? I'm not going to get into the deeper explanation of this, but some interesting things what has happened in HANA. So as far as this Fiori is concerned, SAP was built to work even on the mobiles, smartphones. So how did this simplify the life? How did it simplify our life? I'll give you one typical example. Now, I'm a salesman. So what is my duty? I go to my customer, book the sales, and confirm the agreement with my organization. You agree? So what would I do? I used to go to the customer's place. I used to come back to my office, book the sales. Correct? So this was happening through a legal agreement called as a sales order. Something which is similar to your purchase order. Purchase order was a legal agreement between your vendor and myself. Sales order is a legal agreement between myself and my customer. So wouldn't it be nice if I did all this without wasting any time in traveling back to my office? So I do everything. I book my customer's order and I book the sale, and I book the sales also in my SAP system through Fiori. I simply open my mobile, log into SAP and book the sales. Isn't that simple? So this is exactly what is aimed at, to simplify the life of the customers or of the users of the SAP system. Don't you feel it became very simple? So like this, so Fiori is one of the other significant things what happened in the HANA process. So one was a database. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. So now these are very, very significant, and I am putting it in very simple words. You can also highlight about something called as Fiori is there in HANA. If somebody asks you, you can also tell them about the database change. Obviously, that is the change which has happened. And you can also talk about the Fiori platform. So somebody may also ask you what is Fiori, you can tell. So this is the significant and the simple changes which happened between the ECC SAP and the HANA SAP. Believe me, there are lots and lots more when you talk about HANA. So we can get into the way the data is getting stored, what happened in Oracle, what is happening in HANA, how exactly is the database designed, how is it containing the data, right? So all these things will have to be discussed whenever the projects have to move from the ECC to the HANA platform. This is something about, I have mixed up both ECC and as well as HANA. Okay, I hope this information was helpful. Okay, this is about your, so this is how, can you see how constantly SAP is changing itself or improvising itself to meet up with the requirements? I mean, for the business and for itself. See, by movement to HANA, what happened? The revenue sharing is coming down. It need not share any revenue to Oracle because it has no connection to Oracle anymore now. Okay, but still there are projects working on the ECC platform, which will obviously and slowly but steadily move to HANA. Right. So this is about your understanding of the ECC and the SAP HANA. Clear? So we just went through this. So we understood how SAP was built. When you come down to the usage of the SAP system, who uses the SAP systems? Basically, there are to basically enter the routine transaction. They are one set of people. Basically, when I'm bringing in the SAP system into my organization, who's going to enter the everyday transaction, your purchase, your payment, your sales, your receipt, your credit memos, your salary payment, your vouchers? Who's going to enter all these transactions? It is going to be the employees of my organization. They are called as end users. Basically, they are the set of people in any organization who use the SAP system to basically carry out their day-to-day transactions. Now, there are other set of people who design the SAP system. So I said there are various projects, various industries. So understanding the business of each and every organization and to design the SAP product based on the requirement of my customer, they are done by consultants, by another set of people called as consultants. All right. So basically, I'm working for an organization which is into, say, real estate. So I construct the SAP system for that particular real estate business. So I said I have worked even on the media projects. There was a media giant in the US for whom I worked. All right. So the requirement for the media industry is not the same as that of the real estate. It's not the same as that of the food industry. So I would have to take that particular requirement of the media business and accordingly design the SAP system for my customer or for my business partner. I'm also introducing you to new terms, and business partner is another new term which is used especially in the HANA environment. We no more talk about customers and vendors. We instead talk about something called as business partners. Okay, so I understand the requirement of my implementing partner, my media company, and accordingly design the SAP product. I hope I was clear. So this is a distinction between one set of people and the other set of people who use the SAP system. Basically, the capacity in which they use the SAP system is totally different. Their role is more dynamic. The consultant's role in any of the SAP projects is more dynamic than the role of the end users. They are also equally important, no doubt about it. But the dynamic role comes into, I will just focus on the PPT which I have created. So what is the role of an SAP consultant? To understand what? To understand what exactly is going to be the project about. What is it that I am going to do? What is it that I'm supposed to do? So for that, I should understand what the other person wants. I should understand what my implementing partner wants. Clear? And also show him his requirements, whatever he has required, whatever his requirements are, how it is being converted into SAP. So the SAP system also needs to be parallelly shown to him. This is how you are going to achieve your business goals in SAP. Okay, this is how SAP is going to help you to meet the requirements. This is the understand and demonstrate. How do enterprises function? Basically, that is my very first question. What is the business of my implementing partner? What is he into? What kind of an industry? Okay, what are the major business procedures, business processes? We already know something about the business processes, how the purchase, how the finance, how the sales department, how the HR department talks to each other. That is your business processes. Understand and analyze. So the role of a consultant is very dynamic, as I said, because the expectations from the implementing partner, you are considered to be an expert in SAP, and also as well as the business is concerned. So your expectations are pretty high, and you are supposed to advise your implementing partner about the best things what SAP can offer. So here, did you understand? You have to be very good in understanding SAP. You should know what the product is all about, and you should also know the business as well. You should be a very keen analyst as to what is the requirement of my implementing partner. I'm no more using the word customer, all right? Because you should get used to the standard SAP terms. Implementing partner. What is it? Who's an implementing partner? An implementing partner is a company which wants SAP. Clear? What are the major links? How does one department talk to another department in the business partner's business? In my implementing partner's business. Okay. Map solutions in SAP to meet the requirements of my implementing partner. It has to satisfy, suppose the purchase order about 10 lakhs has to be signed by my chief manager. So you will have to design a system such that whenever a purchase order above 10 lakhs gets raised, immediately the information goes to the chief manager. How this is being done, it is very interesting. Let us do that. But why I'm telling you all this is, this also is possible in SAP. Yeah? So that depends on how knowledgeable a consultant is. And one more point which has been left out here is, a consultant is responsible for training the employees of the implementing partners organization also. Logical, right? How can you expect the employees of the implementing partners organization, they know SAP, they can happily start working on SAP. So today is my first class. Can I assume that you people already know SAP? You can already start working on SAP? Can I assume? Though some of you may have taken up training elsewhere, that is a different point. But majority, can I assume that you already have a taste of the SAP system? I cannot. That will be my wrong assumption. Configure. Configure is designing the SAP system. Right? You should be in a position to identify what my implementing partner wants. And you can also advise. Being an expert in the SAP domain, you should also be in a position to give him excellent solutions, which will be happily agreed upon. If SAP can simplify the life of my implementing partner, he'll be more than happy to receive that improvisation. Test. So even before I deliver the SAP product to my implementing partner, I should test whether whatever I have designed is working up to my or my implementing partner's expectations. Have I designed the system in such a way that whatever my implementing partner has asked me to do, has it been done? Has it been correctly understood and done? And delivery comes later. Delivery comes obviously. Okay? So now you should be in a position to know who an end user is and who a consultant is. Basically, these two are the people who work on the SAP domain, who work on the SAP system. That's no major explanation on that. But the roles and the responsibilities and the nature of work is very, very different. All right. So when we get hold of the SAP system, we will talk about how you navigate through the SAP screens or the SAP system. All right. Now, Janvi madam, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm there, sir.
Kunal, any idea
Yes.
whether they have got access to enable?
Sir, I don't have any idea till now. Might be.
Okay.
They will
No
receive
problem,
it soon. Might be.
No problem. No problem. So students, what I'll do is now, as I said, these slides are prepared for my personal use because I felt preparing these slides will help my students to understand things better. Now, almost similar things are there in your course content also, which I'll just take you through. Just hold on. So this is going to be your course content called as enable. Probably you would have already got, or maybe probably you will get. And each one of you will be having your own user IDs and your passwords. Just hold on. I will show you from the beginning. Kunal, just confirm if you're able to see the slides clear screen.
Yes, sir. Introduction to ERP Unit 1.
Perfect. So I'll go back one slide earlier so that I will show you the process also. Okay. So once when you get into the energy platform, you'll be having this. How will you get into the energy platform? Through your user IDs and your passwords. And these are all the topics. Introduction to ERP. We'll just see what is happening. Oh, I need to sign in again because the time lag. Just hold on. I will stop sharing for some time. So I have just gone back to I have refreshed the screen, given the password and given the user ID and the password all over again. So this is what you get. So it may take some time a couple of seconds to open. Please spend some time on reading this because basically, as far as the current sessions are concerned, more of practical it is theoretical because all we expect is you to get familiarized with SAP. We don't expect you to be experts in the subject. As you can see, I will just explain what is this. Can you see the audio button out here, right top, where I'm moving the cursor? So each and every slide has this particular box. If you want the audio to play, you can definitely highlight this and it will happen. So from moving from page to page, you see the single arrow, right arrow plays on the left where I'm moving the cursor, left top, click, it will take you to the next page. I hope. So I hope probably you would have heard a faint audio playing in the background. Were you able to hear, Puna, the audio?
Audio is not that clear.
No, no, no.
I'm unable to.
You're not able to hear to the audio?
No, I am not able to hear the audio, but the screen is visible.
One
Unit
second.
overview.
One second. I will just play the audio again. So there are also. See, now you're able to hear to it, Puna?
So audio is, I don't know. I am unable to hear the audio, but might be student are able to hear that.
So I don't know how many of you really heard to the audio, or maybe don't know. So every topic, or probably it is very, very interactive. The slides are prepared wonderfully well by SAP. Okay, and there is also the video. All right, so I don't know how I was successful in making you listen to the video, the audio. So every slide has a audio, and there is video also. So you can just read them through, taking the help of a very, very beautifully designed structure, beautifully designed content. So here you can click on lesson 1. So it will explain what is the intent of this particular slide, what is the intent of this particular page. All right, along with the audio, as I said, now I have the audio is mute. Okay, you can also play the associated video. All right, so you can, this is how your course content will work. Okay, so people who have got the access, or I think everyone by now would have got the access to it. So please make the best use of this, wonderfully designed. Okay, we'll spend 10 more minutes to understand how this is being. So now, if you see this, and if I want to go back to the previous slide, I click on the left single arrow. I came back to the previous slide. You have the slide numbers out here. Next to the topic, you have the slide numbers also. Now, if you want to shift over to the new topic, as far as the current moment is concerned, please don't do it. But if at all, at a later point in time, you want to move around to the next topic, click on the double arrow. Can you see this? One is a right arrow, the other one is a double arrow. See, it moves to the next topic, unit 2. See, the page number has changed. The slide number has become 56. Introduction to integrated business processes. So we'll come to this a little later. Okay, because I want you to understand what is SAP Finance, and then come back to this, so that there'll be a lot more clarity while I'm doing this particular topic, if you have understood the role of the FI side of SAP. Okay, now let's see what is there in the previous units. I come back. See, there are, once when you have finished with the particular unit, you have questions also which you can answer, and when you submit, you will also be getting the answers also. Okay, for example, SAP Fiori applications are role-based. I said, what is Fiori? I will mark it as true. I don't know if it is right or wrong, and I will submit. So it says correct. So instantly you will get answers also, and you can gauge where exactly you have gone wrong. Go back to the topic, read once again, come back. Okay, go back. Here you can answer in your free time. Just go through this. See the knowledge check, your questions. Suppose you want to move to the, I stopped somewhere in page 10, right? Page 11, page 12. So what is a non-ERP system? What is a non-ERP system? Now, I was using, say, some ERP product, not necessarily SAP, could be something else also. It could be PeopleSoft, it could be BAN, it could be whatever. Now I'm moving from the that is your non-SAP system or the non-ERP system. Probably I was using some other product. Okay. So that is called as the I'll just make a note of it. So hold on. I will pause. Pause is this. Okay. So we got hold. What are the non-ERP systems? Systems not using any ERP product, or any organizations which are working on systems without any ERP products. Yeah. They are called as non-ERP systems. I have made a note of this because you had something called as a non-ERP system. So you should not be wondering as to what is a non-ERP system. Simple. System which is not using the any ERP product, which are using it for your business. Yeah. Just hold on. Just hold on. Give me a couple of minutes. I'm looking for something specific. So you can also move the slides bottom. So you're in the 12th slide. If you want to move, you can click here also, or maybe you can do it on the top left also. So two places are there where you can move from one slide to another. Okay. Just hold on. Yeah, now I think it's okay. Perfect. I just reduce the size so that you can see the full screen. So basically, he has explained all are theory based. You don't have to do anything in the SAP systems. Okay, let us reach that particular stage. I'll take you through the system also. Okay. So as I said, you can move to the next slide also by clicking on this. What happened? So we have seen all this advantages of ERP. Why isn't the slide uploading? What happened? I'll just refresh it. It will take some time. Just hold on. So here it says, click on the plus icons to view the descriptions. See, what is the advantages of an ERP system? An ERP system provides integration business solutions, aiding the central management of data and the processes. Whereas the standalone or the non-ERP systems are devoid of these capabilities. They do not possess these capabilities. Okay. Now, if you click on, you can see the explanation. That is what this place is. Click on the plus icons to view the descriptions. So you can keep clicking on the various icons out here. Real-time data access. So we have already seen what is real-time processing. So this is a new thing which probably I didn't mention. Security measures. So nowadays you see a lot of importance is given to the data security. Does SAP have this functionality? Obviously, it should be having data security things, right? So who takes care of this? We will discuss as and when we proceed to that particular point. Okay. So it's very, they have also brought in some interactive slides. I don't know if you're able to hear to the audio. So Mr. Deepak is discussing with Shruti. okay, as regards this particular issues. Okay. So basically, probably even you would have had these questions. I want to understand SAP S/4HANA with the data storage and the analysis. Yeah. Students, can somebody confirm if you are able to listen here to the audio? Because here I'm playing it very loud.
Sir, it is not audible. They have already mentioned it is not audible, sir.
Oh, okay. So probably they can check in their systems whether if they have been given access and they are able to listen to the audio. Okay. So like this, your course content is designed in this way. You have both videos and also the content in the form of theory. Okay, so you can just go through, open the enable, and go through whatever has happened. Okay, so as far as so we'll be meeting on Monday. So okay, I can give you so we'll continue on this on Monday. Okay, but till the end of the session, I'll be talking to you. I'm just telling you how we need to plan the sessions, right? So we'll go slowly and steadily how we can understand the SAP product. Okay, and probably when we get an opportunity to work on the live SAP system, it will be very, very interesting, and we can also get a lot more interactive. So there is also a next button out here. You can click on that, takes you to the next slide. So all these are very, very generic in explanations. There is nothing new. All you need to do is, as I said, for you to understand SAP, you need to understand the business. That is the whole secret. That is a secret, nothing else. Nothing else. So as I said, very, very general, very, very interactive. Okay. Please spend some time on reading the slides. Okay, whenever you find time, right? So this is how I just wanted to take you into the course content. Probably you'd be more interested to know as to what you're supposed to do. Okay, this is how your course content is designed. This is designed by SAP itself. So we have seen all this real time. Okay. So this is probably when you're reading, if you come across some new terminologies, please put it across to me so that I'll be explaining them to you. Okay. So this is how your course content is also designed. So let us go back to trying to understand. So we have understood who an SAP consultant is, who an end user is. Now, in the first half today, we spoke about something called as modules. What are modules? Nothing but your individual departments. Individual departments in an organization is called as modules in SAP. So basically, if you want to categorize SAP or you want to bifurcate SAP, you have functional modules, technical modules. Yeah. So what are these functional modules? Basically, the departments which are actively involved, like in the sense, what should I say? Like your finance department, management accounting department, material management, sales and distribution, production planning, project systems, HR department. Like this, you have n number of modules which are functional in the sense they are operational. Operational in the sense you can feel them working. The finance department, the management accounting. So alternatively, you can also name the MM department, materials management, as your purchase department, your sales and distribution as your sales department, production planning as your production, right? Human resources as your human resources only. So there are many more. I'm just mentioning a very few of them. So when you're talking about the technical modules, technical in the sense, I hope you are, you have heard about something called as coding in any of the software languages. Let it be any software. There has to be some programming, some coding. So SAP is also coded in a language called Advanced Business Application Programming, your ABAP. Your whole of SAP is coded in this language. For anybody else who wants to know this technically, it is also the 4th generation language. If somebody wants me to talk in typical software terms, it is a 4th generation language, 4GL language. All right. Now, we also, and let me add one more thing here. Each and every screen you open in SAP is governed by a ABAP program. You could open a screen to enter a journal voucher. You can enter the screen to make a payment to the vendor. You can open the screen for a credit memo. You can open the screen for a receipt of a payment, for a receipt. Customer is making a payment and you are receiving it. So for each and every activity, whatever screen you open in the presentation layer, right, is governed by a ABAP program. I will show you everything. Okay, just try to understand these topics. That's it. This is very, very generic, whatever I'm talking. And this will happen for the next, maybe say 2 days or something. It will be very, very generic. And basically, I'll be helping you out in answering a lot of your queries, because the next 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, if you spend time on reading these slides and coming back to me with questions on Monday, most welcome. All right. And we also said about the data security. Who is responsible for maintaining the data security or managing the security of the SAP data? It is a module called as Basis, which is responsible for managing the security of the data, security of the SAP data, so that it doesn't go out of the organization. Yeah. So is this the only role of a basis person? And each of the expert in this area is called as a consultant. FI consultant, CO consultant, MM consultant, SD consultant, ABAP consultant, basis consultant, and there are various other technical modules also, right? I've just talked at a very basic minimum, which is very, very common to for a fresher also. Yeah. So we were discussing about the data security. So does the basis person, is the data security the only responsibility? Now imagine a scenario in the finance department, right? You have the accounts payable, you have the accounts receivable, you have assets, you have bank, you have taxes, right? So each person, or there would be a person handling a few of them. He cannot handle the entire thing, right? As an employee of the finance department, you're not expected to get into each and every part of the finance function, correct? So somebody may be looking after the insurance, some people may be looking after the treasury, whatever, consolidation, payables, receivables, assets, right? So like this, 1 or 2 people may be managing 2 or 3 different areas of finance. Now let me say, in my organization, I belong to the receivable department. So should I necessarily have the access for the accounts payable information, or maybe say even the assets information, or even say the consolidation information? I belong only to the receivables. I am more interested to collect the money from my customers. All right, and I'm supposed to enter the transaction whenever the payment happens. I'm supposed to enter the transaction in my SAP system. That is my role. So do you think it is sensible for me to have an access to the payables information also? Why should I? So who restricts this authorization? This concept is called as authorizations in SAP. I will not be allowed to enter into another area. Tomorrow I get promoted, I become a manager, then my authorizations will be changed. But till then, till I belong to only one department, my information is also restricted only to that particular area. I cannot have access to the other department's information. Did you happen to get this idea? So who sets all these authorizations? Again, it is the basis person who does all this. Based on my role in the organization, he fixes my access to the SAP system. Just because I have the SAP system, I cannot access the whole information. No, I cannot do it, because some of the information will be sensitive. especially when we are talking about the management accounting informations or management accounting reports, the authorizations are given to only the top level management. It is only at the CEO, CFO, directors at that level only. It will not even come to the senior manager level also, probably. Yeah. So who does all this? It is a basis person who authorizes or removes the authorizations based on the rule. Yeah. So this is how your entire SAP environment is broken up into. First of all, you are either recognized as a consultant or as an end user. All right. So we know very well as to who a consultant is, who the end users are, and even in the end users, you may come across terms like super users, power users. They are also end users only. But the only difference is, if I'm a clerk, I'm entering only the invoices. I'm an end user. Tomorrow I become a supervisor. Tomorrow I become a manager. So what happens? My authorizations or my access to the SAP systems increases. So I may be classified as a super. So I'm no more, but I'm not an SAP expert. I'm not an SAP expert. SAP expert is this person, consultant. Yeah. So it is only based on my role that I am considered as an end user or as a super or a power user. The only difference is I'll be having more access to the SAP systems. That's it. I can perform more functions in the SAP system than that of a simple end user. I can have access to various management reports. That's so these are all the common terms which probably you will definitely come across during your SAP career. So tomorrow you're all going to be qualified CMAs, and once at least you will be having a taste of SAP. All right, because now what I see is everything is happening on SAP, and you also have your own responsibilities because you are considered to be the experts of the domain, your CMA domain. Okay, and as a professional, your responsibilities will be only increasing. Yeah. Kunal, do we have any questions as of now?
No, sir.
No questions.
Only 2 questions were there. I've already responded to that.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So nothing concerning me, right? Nothing concerning the subject.
Actually, they were asking about CRM and VRM features with SAP. I've already responded to them accordingly.
Thank you so much, Kunal. Thank you.
Most welcome, sir.
Okay, right. So just give me a minute. I'm just sending a quick reply to one of my official things. Just give me 2 minutes. Sorry, I had to take this message. Yeah. So I assume that there are no questions. So let me open up my PPT. So this will come a little later. Don't worry. See, as I said, the basic modules in SAP. These are all the functional modules. These are all the terms which I'm going to introduce as and when the appropriate time comes up. Okay. This controlling is nothing but your management accounting. So you're already experts in, you're already doing your CMA. So you must be very good in this particular area. These are just a few examples. Believe me, there are lots and lots more. Okay. We'll come to this, how this FI module is broken up into, because this is going to be our area of focus. Okay. So this definitely we are going to focus, but I would not get into this module as of now, because all I want you to do is I want you to be comfortable with the basic understanding of SAP. Okay. We'll slowly get into all this. Don't be too very much concerned of it as of now. I'm just taking stock as to what needs to be done. See, just to explain what is a business process. Just give me a minute. So sorry. Yeah. So here we say what each and every. Okay. So just to explain or just to give more clarity to what is the business process. She has taken the example of the sales and distribution. SD is sales and distribution. Okay. So all these are typical your SAP terms, your delivery of goods, your. I'll explain this a little deeper when the appropriate time comes up, not to worry. So why are we even talking about the finance model? So this is quite an interesting topic because we are going to concentrate only on the finance model, right? And we are also going to, I think, probably touch upon the CO module also because that is your area. All right. So let us see what is that in that also. So designed and automated for external reporting. What is this external reporting? Now, whenever we talk about a business, what do? Every business body or every business entity, once it gets recognized as a legal entity, must report its financial results to the governmental body, right? How does it do? In the means of, by the means of your financial statements, like say your balance sheet, your trial balance, profit and loss accounts. Okay. So now once when you generate at the end of the year, all these statements or all these financial results, what do? You actually are going to submit it to the relevant people. What's relevant people? Obviously, you're going to declare your results or you're going to show these results to your auditor. He's an external agency. He's an external agency.
Sir, just a minute, sir.
Sure.
Students,
Yes.
जिनको भी लग रहा है अटेंडेंस का प्रॉब्लम है, गेस्ट लॉगिन हो रहा है, आप अपना क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन में रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर और ईमेल आईडी छोड़ दो. We will set the training department and contact the training department directly to get the resolution about the attendance. Their mail ID is training@icmai.in. That's it. Simple. Thank you. Yes, sir. You can continue, sir.
Thank you. So your external reports. So you also submit the financial position to your shareholders, your stakeholders, right? To the other governmental agencies. So these people, they are not a part of your company or they're not a part of your organization, but very well interested because of that, whatever. They would have invested their investments into the business, right? So you have to let them know how your business is doing financially. They are all called as the external agencies. So whatever reports, whatever financial statements or whatever financial reports, you are submitting it to your auditor, your shareholders or independent directors, to your other governmental bodies, whatever is generated in the finance model. Correct? So these are all the sub-modules within the finance model. You're talking about consolidation through the general ledger. The general ledger is your accounts, right? Rent account, salaries account, all this. I'll get into that when we start talking about the finance module. Your payables, receivables, assets, right? Now your management accounting module, controlling. So when I asked this question in an open forum, I got a very interesting answer from one of the participants saying that controlling module is more involved in the controlling of the costs. Basically and logically, can you ever control costs? You can never control costs. Cost will happen at whatever may be the scenario, costs will happen. You will have to incur costs. You cannot stop it. So controlling does not control anything. It is your management accounting module. It is whatever reports are being generated in the controlling module, they basically are for your top level management to take strategic decisions. So whatever reports you are generating from the CO module, they are meant for the strategic decision making. What is the strategic decision making? Now let me say I'm producing a product. And basically it is for internal reporting. Your finance was your external reporting, as you saw the definition, external reporting. Your CO is for internal report. What is internal reporting? Is there a word called internal reporting? No, it is not. Okay. Internal reporting. Why? Now, I'm producing a product. My organization is producing a product. And I'm selling the product at 100 rupees. Why shouldn't I sell this product at 85 rupees? Why shouldn't I sell this product at 120 rupees? Why have I fixed the selling price at 100 rupees? There are so many factors. There are so many factors. And where am I getting all this information from? It is from the finance, or it is from the management accounting module. I'm getting all the relevant as the topmost level management person. I would be drawing all this information from the management accounting module. And why did I say internal reporting? Now, suppose I decide to sell this product tomorrow at 110 rupees. Should I have to inform my governmental agencies or my stakeholders or somebody else that I'm selling this product at 110 rupees? They have absolutely, they have no idea as to why that 110 rupees. They don't understand, they're not worried about I'm interested in making the profits, that's it. As a stakeholder or whatever, I'm more interested in as long as I'm getting my profits, I'm okay. Why should I ever be interested whether you're selling the product at 110 rupees or even 100 rupees? It's your call. It is your business decision. So basically, whatever reports you are having generated in the CO module is for your internal purposes only. And this reports will stay in the top level management itself. It never gets down even to the middle level or even to the low level management. It always stays at the top level management decision making level. That's it. Okay. But who's responsible for this management accounting? It is again the finance person. So in SAP, if at all you want to have a career in SAP as a consultant, you cannot remain only as a finance consultant. You will have to, you're actually called as an FICO consultant only. You are not an FI consultant. You are not only an FI consultant, but you're also an FICO consultant. So that is a responsibility of a finance person. Okay. So this is very generally what I'm talking about, how you're looking at SAP as a product. So this I'm going to skip because if you want me to keep the slides for 2 minutes, I will do it, not a problem. See, if you were in the initial addressing session, the session was addressed by Mr. Balaji. He used a specific thing called as industry specific. And he said he was in some IS implementing project. And I said I was in the media, telecom. Where is telecom? Telecom, see, telecommunications. I was in the real estate. I don't know why real estate is not being mentioned here. Somebody was asking me the banking. Can you see the banking out here? Chemicals. So what is this industry specific solutions? Your public sectors, see. So what is this industry specific or IS? So we always call this as an IS media project. I used to always call this as a IS media project, IS oil and gas project, IS pharma, IS public sector. What is this IS industry specific? Now you should really appreciate the effort of SAP as to how it has designed the product. Now, I said I had worked on IS media, IS real estate. I don't know why real estate is not mentioned. Why is it called as IS? Now, SAP has designed this IS products in such a way that SAP has studied the media business of the whole world. Right? It has understood how the media works in the US, how the media works in Europe, how media works in India, how media works in some other place. Okay, it has created or it has inbuilt certain solutions which are applicable to the industry as such, not to the specific location. Are you getting my point? It has standardized the SAP product meeting the major requirements of the particular industry, media. So whatever is the logical requirements of the media industry across the globe is available in the IS media product. That is how beautifully. Now, can you really imagine SAP's efforts? Correct. So public sectors may be very typical to India. So it has studied how the public sectors, it could be BL, it could be BHL, it could be HAL, it could be ITI. See, now, if you talk about the various public sectors, ITI is into communications, Indian telephone industries. Of course, now I don't think it is existing anymore, or it could be in a very small way. You have this HAL, BML, BL working on the defense side of India. So they have their own things. So it has gathered all the requirements of how the public sectors function, and it has given a standardized product on which I build the product. Now I cannot have the same solutions for BL. I cannot have the same solutions for ITI. I cannot have the same solutions for HAL. Correct? So, but I've got the backbone. The backbone is ready. SAP has already provided the backbone through something called as industry specific. On this backbone, I start building my product. I start enhancing my product, my SAP requirement. Clear? This is what is your industry specific. So today's discussion, it was very generic. Please come back to me with any kind of questions which you have after you have heard to my lecture, and even so after you read the document, whatever has been provided to you. I bet you will be having a number of questions. So slowly we'll try to resolve them on Monday. Okay. Kunal, any questions for now?
No, sir.
No questions. So just a moment. I see only 195 attendees. Okay. So I'll just take a breather for 5 minutes. If you have any questions, please put it up. All right. Think about the subject, whatever has happened till now. Come back to me with questions. We'll continue for another half an hour. Till 4 o'clock, we'll continue. Okay. In the meantime, I will just brush through whatever topics I need to continue with. Don't worry about all this because these topics come to you a little later. So sometimes while going through the slides in your course content, you'll be instructed. See here, I see an instruction. Click on the hexagons to view more information. So I click here to get more information. Can you see the information on the left bottom? Multi-core processors. So I click on large memory now. So I'll be getting the information on large memory. See here. Slot more servers. And one more thing. Please do not try to understand each and every word of it. Okay, just try to understand this conceptually. You do not have to understand what is a slot, what is more, what is a. You don't have to get into that micro understanding. Okay.
Sir, there is one question from a student. He's requesting to please you understand of the Fury application again, sir.
Sure, I'll do that. Let me check if there is something on Fury. I'm just looking for Fury in this course content. So along with the slide, I'll be giving more information. I remember having seen a slide on Fury. You can all see the latest figures. Okay, as to what is the current status of SAP, how many of them are using SAP, right? In terms of revenue, in terms of the numbers, right?